Welcome back to another season of Penn State Sports Night. I'm Brendan Feifer alongside Alissa Devine, and boy, is it great to be back.
This past Monday, the NHL came to Hockey Valley for the first time in Penn State history. Pagula Ice Arena hosted the Buffalo Sabres preseason game versus the Minnesota Wild. The Roar Zone was behind the Sabres the whole night and had a sign thanking Terry and Kim Pagula for bringing the team to Happy Valley. Unfortunately, the Sabres fell to the Wild 2-1 in the last minute of regulation. Players commented on the Pagula atmosphere and said it was an unforgettable experience.
Top division seeds in both the American League and the National League have been clinched. The Rangers and the Cubs have the best record in each of their respective divisions as we wind down another exciting year in baseball. Playoff action will officially be underway as of next week.
Cleveland Browns receiver Josh Gordon released a statement Thursday evening that he is stepping away from football to enter inpatient rehab. The receiver has had issues with drugs in the past and has been seen partying with Johnny Manziel. Gordon had been set to return in Week 5 against the New England Patriots.
Two major deaths took the sports world by storm this week. Pitcher Jose Fernandez of the Miami Marlins and legendary golfer Arnold Palmer were both lost this week. Palmer was 87, while Fernandez was only 24.
We'll be back after this break as we will elaborate more on the tragedy of Jose Fernandez.
And tonight, we look back on one of Major League Baseball's rising stars. Miami Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez was killed last Sunday in a boating accident at the age of 24. The Miami Coast Guard discovered a 33-center console boat overturned on a jetty around 3:30 Sunday morning. All three passengers were pronounced dead at the scene. Cuban-born pitcher Jose Fernandez was one of the best baseball pitchers to be part of the Miami Marlins. He was drafted in the first round in 2011. After 2 years in the minors, he moved up to the Major League. He was named Rookie of the Year in 2013. Fernandez was one of the most dominant pitchers in the league. He had a career record of 38-17, a 2.58 ERA, and struck out 589 batters. This season, the two-time All-Star had a record of 16-8 with a 2.86 ERA. He was scheduled to pitch this past Monday night. The Miami Marlins honored him before Monday night's game at Marlins Park. The team walked out sporting Fernandez's jersey number and mimicked his warm-up routine. The team gathered around the pitcher's mound for a moment of silence before the first pitch. Not many players cry over a home run, but tears were shed as leadoff hitter Dee Gordon walked up to the plate right-handed in honor of Hernandez and slugged his first home run. Gordon said, quote, "He has never hit a ball that far, not even in a batting practice. I told the boys if you don't believe in God, you might as well start." The adrenaline from a 7-3 victory over the New York Mets subsided by Tuesday's game. The Marlins lost 12-1 to the Mets and were eliminated from postseason contention by the San Francisco Giants. On Wednesday, a funeral procession took place through the Miami area. Thousands of fans gathered throughout the streets to pay their final respects to the man who loved baseball and inspired young athletes. Some fans even waved Cuba's flag, chanting Jose's name. Videos and photos from Fernandez's life have surfaced throughout the week. One photo in particular has struck hearts across the world. Fernandez posted a picture of his pregnant girlfriend this week before his death, stating, "I'm so glad you came into my life. I'm ready for where this journey is going to take us together. Family first." Our condolences extend to family, friends, the Miami Marlins organization, and to everyone inspired by the life of Jose Fernandez. He will never be forgotten.
For this segment, we're going to break down some Penn State football. This past Saturday, Penn State had a 49-10 loss against Michigan. It wasn't very surprising. They're a ranked team. They're ranked number 4. Penn State's defense, they lost their main linebacker core, and Michigan's offense is just unbelievable. Jabril Peppers, he runs all over these teams, and with Penn State's defense lacking, it wasn't really a surprise. So, what did you see from that defense that struggled the most?
Well, definitely losing our linebackers was a huge deficit in the game, going from losing our starter to the next one to the next one. Huge deficit, and our goal for the game was just to keep our defense off the field. They were really struggling. They scored on us really quickly in the beginning, so just trying to keep our offense on the field more than our defense.
So we lost Naeem Wortman-White, we lost Jason Kabinda and Brandon Bell, so that was a huge loss. And Michigan, they're really good at causing havoc on the scrimmage line, and we needed Penn State's offense to show up, but they didn't have a great game like they did in the past. Trace McSorley kind of struggled a little bit. What did you see from the offense?
Well, for our offense, our biggest issue overall in the season is that we're barely averaging over 100 yards on the ground. And particularly in the Michigan game, Saquon Barkley, our running back, had more yards than our receivers did. So if we want to be successful later on in the season, our receivers need to pick it up. We're also dealing with a true freshman quarterback. So coming in from being a true freshman.
Yeah.
And we're struggling against like a Big Ten team, especially like Michigan. That's a lot of pressure for a quarterback, but I think he's been handling it really well. I just think that his biggest issue is that he needs to learn how to read the defense a little bit better and be a little bit more confident in his game.
So against Minnesota, we definitely want to see our receivers have a big game. Chris Godwin, Tompkins, they have to show up. They didn't show up against Michigan, and against a team like Minnesota, who isn't nearly as good on the offensive side, we need to do something about that on the offensive side. Something that happened today, Sandy Barber said Franklin is not in the hot seat. It's been a question all season whether Franklin will be on the hot seat, especially after Penn State lost that Pittsburgh game. It was a big in-state rivalry that'll affect a lot of recruitment. So he's been questioned, and especially with losing a game like Michigan, do you think Franklin should be on the hot seat?
Personally, I think that he's been dealing with problems within the recruiting class. This year's been the first year that we've returned a full recruiting class, so I think that we should at least give him another year to kind of really deal with a full team and how a Penn State team should be before we axe him or put him on the hot seat.
And real quick, before the next segment, we have a game this Saturday coming up against Minnesota. They average 39.7 points per game, so with the lacking defense on our side, what do you think Penn State has to do specifically on offense to beat this Minnesota team?
We definitely need to score first. That's been our biggest issue, is that we like to be a second half team. So we need to not let Minnesota score first in the game. So really push the offense, come out guns blazing, and see what we can do with that.
Also, in addition to that, they have to convert on third downs, and they have to create explosive plays, like I said, in receiving and on the passing game. And Chris Godwin and Tompkins are players that have to show up.
On Sunday, the world lost a hero. Arnold Palmer was more than just a golfer to most people. To my father, he was his boyhood idol. He idolized everything about him because he identified it with him. Arnold Palmer was the working class hero of the 1960s. He wasn't the traditional country club kid that plays golf, like Jack Nicklaus, his main rival, who he battled with so many times over the course of their long careers. In fact, it was Nicklaus's most telling memory when he tweeted out the telegram Arnold Palmer sent him after his 1986 Masters win. Palmer will be remembered for more than just as a golfer. What he did to sports, what he did for philanthropy, represents so much more than what people think about him just because of his drink. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Penn State Sports Night. I'm Jack Hirsh. We will see you next week.